Hey there, welcome to my channel. Today we are making tomato egg drop soup. So if you're a fan of egg drop soup, I highly recommend you give this one a try. The addition of the tomatoes offers a little bit of acidity to counter the creaminess of the eggs. You can enjoy this as an appetizer or a side dish, or if you wanted to enjoy it as a main course, you can add your protein of choice. It's so delicious and just takes 10 minutes. So without further ado, let's get started. We're going to thinly slice our green onions, and we are going to also separate the white parts from the greens because they're going to be added separately. We're also going to roughly chop our tomatoes to about 1-inch pieces. If your tomatoes are small, you can use 2. Otherwise, 1 medium to large tomato works great for this recipe. I heated about a tablespoon of oil in a small pot, and I'm sauteing the white parts of my green onion, grating in 1 garlic clove, as well as about half a teaspoon of fresh ginger. So saute your aromatics for just about a minute. Things are gonna get nice and fragrant, and then we're gonna add in our tomatoes and continue to saute those for about 3 minutes or so. You'll know when they're ready because the tomatoes will have softened, and you'll notice a nice layer of tomato juice at the bottom of the pot. Next, we're going to pour in about 3 cups of chicken broth. I'm using chicken bone broth that I made using leftover rotisserie chicken. I always have a supply of it in my freezer, but you can absolutely use store-bought broth here. While all of that simmers for about 5 minutes, we're going to use this time to prepare our cornstarch slurry. So it's just a 1-to-3 ratio of cornstarch to water. Highly recommend using a mini whisk here to make sure you get all that cornstarch that might be stuck on the sides of the bowl. So once that's all mixed up, go ahead and set your cornstarch slurry to the side, grab a separate bowl and crack 2 eggs. We're also going to add about a tablespoon of water. Whisk and set that aside along with the cornstarch slurry. We're going to use those later. Now it's time to season our broth. We're going to start with about half a teaspoon of salt, or a teaspoon of white ground pepper. I like using white ground pepper here as opposed to black because it's a little less pungent and doesn't have those black specks. We're also going to add sugar for a little hint of sweetness. I like to use this whole earth monk fruit sweetener that I get from Costco. It's just half a teaspoon. I also like to add a teaspoon of this Better Than Bouillon roasted chicken base. It just gives an extra boost of chicken flavor to our soup. Now we're going to add in our cornstarch slurry, and we are going to bring that broth back to a simmer and let that cook for about an additional 2 minutes until the broth gets nice and thick. Slowly drizzle in your eggs in a circular motion and use a wooden spoon to gently mix for about 30 seconds. At this point, we're going to take it off the heat because we don't want our eggs to overcook. Garnish with a little bit of sesame oil and the green parts of the green onions. And all that's left to do at this point is to devour your soup. I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. The full written recipe for this, as well as classic egg drop soup, is available on my website, and I will include that in the description box as well. If you liked what you saw today, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for being here. Bye!